Let's take the day's top stories to our panel. Joining us live, the Liberal Senator Hollie Hughes and the Labor MP Matt Thistlethwaite. Matt, to you first, because Peter Dutton is going to blast the Prime Minister today over resources, calling the current government, which is yours, one of the most interventionist in our history. What's your response to that?
Well, we have intervened. We've intervened to ensure that households and small businesses get relief from electricity and gas price increases. And I think that Susan Ley said it all in your interview with her a moment ago, Peter, when she said Peter Dutton has chosen to back the gas companies. And that says it all. When Labor put into the Parliament legislation to cap electricity and gas prices, Peter Dutton's coalition voted against it. They voted against electricity price relief and gas price relief for households and small businesses. And that says it all.
Hollie, it comes down to profits. They are huge for these gas companies. Should we at least not try and claw some of that back for the people, given that it is our resource?
Well, the government is one of the most interventionists we've seen, and we did vote against the cap because as soon as you put that sort of intervention into a market, you reduce supply. That's exactly the way the markets work. And we know this is a government that is completely opposed to the gas sector. Their energy minister has referred to a gas-led recovery as BS, slightly more colourfully than that. We know in a deal that they did with the Greens, they removed gas and coal projects from the $15 billion National Reconstruction Fund in order to get their safeguard mechanism, which, let's call it what it is, a carbon tax, through the Senate. This is a government who sees industry as some sort of instrument of the state. And the more intervention they make into this market, the worse it is going to get in the long run. All Australians, regardless of this much lauded cap that they so-called put in to ensure prices stayed low, prices have just continued to escalate. And now what we're seeing from this budget is a promise of up to $500, not for everyday working Australians, but for some Australian families. And in conjunction with the state's payments, it's only up to $500. It depends where you live. And so it could be much less than that, and a majority of Australians will not be included in that relief. So this is a government who's also put $10 billion into ensuring that we can have environmental funds fighting against gas and coal projects going forward. So this is a government who's tearing itself apart. Madeleine King wants to support CCS, a proven technology to reduce emissions. Ed Husick over on the East Coast is saying it's ridiculous. This is a government that doesn't know what it's doing.
There's huge debates over carbon capture storage, though. I mean, that it doesn't work. So what's the point?
Well, one of the things, and I've been talking to a number of gas companies over the past year with regards to CCS, and it is being used around the world, but one of the suggestions that was made by this Labor government around CCS, that if they were to do it, the gas companies out in places like Bass Strait would have to dig new wells. Now, if they're digging new wells, they're going to take the gas out of it. This government was trying to ban them from using exhausted wells for CCS, that they could use wells that no longer have oil and gas in them, that they could then use them for CCS. Yet they want these companies to drill new wells, which is just simply not going to happen.